What's up guys, this is Coach Donny with ElevateYourself.org. Welcome to my volleyball coach reaction to Season 1, Episode 23. If you're new to this channel, I'm a volleyball coach, volleyball player, and personal trainer that provides volleyball tutorials, jump training videos, and other cool volleyball content. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. You can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for more content. Thank you for the reminder about the bonus footage at the end of episode 24. I'm looking forward to seeing what that's about. Keep these reminders coming because it's hard for me to remember all the things that are involved with watching Haikyuu. I definitely felt more sympathy for Kageyama from the last episode. I never thought that Kageyama was a bad person to begin with. Just someone who was pretty lonely, worked incredibly hard, took his training seriously, and held others to the same standard. Plus, he's willing to change and improve his personality in order to better the team, which says a lot about his character. Thanks for explaining the flying fish animation. I actually thought it was a firefly at first and I was super confused. Oikawa is very lucky to have a friend like Iwazumi to keep him in check and talk some sense into him. Although I don't advise headbutting your friend just to make them listen, but that's much better than Oikawa trying to hit Kageyama out of frustration. It seems that we have many defenders of Oikawa on this channel. Maybe I'll have more empathy for Oikawa in future seasons as I learn more about him. I know he's worked his butt off and wasn't very talented to begin with, but that still does not excuse his behavior and treatment of Kageyama, who did nothing to deserve that type of treatment. You guys really did watch the entire video. I was wondering who would notice that sneeze. If you've been enjoying my videos, please consider supporting me on Patreon, where you'll receive exclusive access to monthly live Q&A sessions, my monthly podcasts, my private blog, behind the scenes footage, and more. Also, the first 200 members will automatically be entered to win a free Elevate Athletic Tee 2.0, so make sure that you sign up today with the link below. Now let's get this Haikyu party started. Yeah, I love those little sweat drips on the face. It really makes you feel like you're there with them, working hard. Mr. Scary, Mr. Brawly is shaking his hand. Ah, he's focusing. That was a cool intro. The point that changes the momentum. Good pass. Oh, here we go with that cool music. The godlike quicks. I like this team strategy that's going on. Everyone's trying to figure out what's going on and the coach is allowing a healthy discussion. That's a good way to put in context. Ooh, got a soft block. Probably because Seijo is finally picking up on the patterns. Oh, who's gonna get that tip? Of course, Nishinoya is. Oh, come on. The ace is gonna put it away. Oh, and K-pop digs it. This is for all the K-pop defenders out there. I'm gonna break down Oikawa's technical skill just for you guys, just to show that I don't have anything personal against him. Here he's displaying great digging technique, although I don't know why he's standing so close to the 3-meter line to dig a hard hit, and it's very rare, especially against a double block, that a hitter is going to hit that downward. So to make it more realistic, Asahi should have hit it a little bit deeper, and that's where most defenders will defend halfway between the baseline and the 3-meter line against a hard hit. One thing that Oikawa is doing really well is he's shooting his platform in one motion, so he's not swinging it out to the side. So he's setting his angle early, and if you notice that he's dropping his inside shoulder, So his inside shoulder in this image is his left shoulder, which helps angle the ball back to the center of the court. A lot of defenders make the mistake of digging with level shoulders and they don't angle their shoulders back to the target, so then the ball just ends up going off to the sideline. I also noticed that Oikawa wears 2 different colored knee pads. Wonder if they'll explain that in the future. So a setter who can play defense is actually very rare. No offense setters out there, but I know most of them that I've played with don't really have that great defense. Ooh, so that's the libero. So you might be wondering, why is the libero jumping behind the 3-meter line and trying to jump set it? Why doesn't he just run under the ball like a regular setter and hand set it? If you don't know the rules of volleyball, the libero cannot hand set an attacker while his feet are touching the 3-meter line or any part of his feet are in front of the 3-meter line. That would be considered an illegal assist, assuming that the attacker actually attacks his set above the plane of the net. So one move that liberos like to do to be able to get more aggressive with their setting, because usually when you set with your hands you have a lot more control, they will jump behind the 3-meter line and drift forward so that they can set balls that are passed too close to the net. If you want to learn how to perform the skill, I actually made a volleyball tutorial video that teaches you how to set as a libero, and these are one of the moves that you can learn. I'll link that video in the description box for you guys. So great jump technique. Ooh, and he back sets. That's even more advanced. Oh, and K-pop crushes it. He's a good hitter, so I'm not surprised. Ah, that's why he was able to do that advanced setting move. Oh, they explained the rule here. Oh, that's a cool graphic highlighting the 3-meter line so people know exactly where he has to jump from. Yeah, you'll definitely see this at the collegiate and for sure at the professional level, not too often at the high school level. There he goes with his famous jump serve. Ooh, Daichi with a great pass. Man, who digs it again? Okay, that's called an overpass. Oh, let's talk about that technique. Here you see that Asahi hit the ball so hard that the defender couldn't control it, but at least angled it back over the net so they could still play it, or at least looks like it was going to go over the net. So Hinata did the right thing by jumping up and trying to block a straight down for an easy point. But Oikawa instead does a very aggressive setting move by jumping as high as he can and reaching for the ball. Usually when you set, you want to receive the ball with bent elbows so you can extend your elbows for power to set. But when the pass is too tight, your job is just trying to save the ball, so you have to extend your elbows to get a little bit more reach, and all you can do is set with your fingers or your wrist. This takes a lot of strength and control to still set a high ball with your elbows extended and only using your fingers and your wrist. This is a very advanced setting move, but I love how aggressive he is because most setters will just give up and accept the overpass kill. So I always tell my setters, you at least have to go for it, because even if you get called for a double or an over, that's going to be the same result as the hitter hitting it straight down. So always try to test your limits even during the game, because you never know what you can do until you try it. So as a result, he's able to get his hitter one-on-one because Hinata jumped with him. And then easy kill for the outside hitter. I don't think the referees ever open their eyes. How do they see what's going on? Yeah, it's okay to be impressed with what your opponent does. Sometimes they just make some good plays. Yep, they're adapting. Good opponents will adapt to you. Sides of the court maybe hit around the block more sharply. Yeah, that means they're able to read where, not only who they're going to set on Karasuno, but where they're going to hit. Good teams will keep track of your hitting tendencies. So they have to do what they usually don't do. Don't do your favorite move, change it up. Close game though, only ahead by 3. But Tsuki coming back with a smart play. I love it. The annoying feint. It is annoying. Yeah, maybe a lot of good teams will conserve their energy sometimes, save it for the tougher matches or longer tournaments. So I'm curious if that's what Seijo is doing. Yeah, when Hinata draws the blockers, everyone has a free swing. They can hit as hard as they want. Alright, here we go, Suga with the calming voice and keeping people focused. So now Hinata's finally going to change direction a little more sharply. Ooh, Tanaka with a kill. That's the calmest celebration I've seen. K-pop does not approve. That little sucky guy. K-pop calling him a little sucky guy. Yeah, they gotta get Hinata and Kageyama going. That's their secret weapon. Nice receiver! Never gets old. Ooh, good soft block by Hinata. And this is an easy pass to see who they set on the free ball. Set Hinata so he can change direction. Oh, the slide. Oh, good cross court. When Coach Ukai said we have to attack the sides of the court, originally I thought he meant they have to hit closer to the sideline, but I'm thinking he meant we have to spread out the attack more, which means don't just set middle and left or middle and right. We have to spread it out and make sure we make the blockers have to move all the way one direction or the other direction. If that is what Coach Ukai meant, that's a very good and popular strategy in volleyball called spreading your blockers out. You want to run plays where the middle blocker can't block two people at once. They can't get faked out on the one and close. They have to decide one hitter or the other. So as a result, this left Hinata wide open because maybe the other hitters were so focused on the left side attacker. Maybe Asahi on that side. Oh, no cheer from Seijo. Where's the cheer? They're going to cheer so loudly. Oh! Look at that handstand from Nishinoya. Oh, this is how you break the rhythm. Yep. This is where they start to turn Super Saiyan. Get that momentum. Oh, there you go. Daichi with a consistent pass. Maybe Hinata's going to do a zigzag pattern to the other direction. Oh, he's hot. Okay. Back another free ball. I would set Hinata again and make him run another route. Oh, that's exactly it. So here you see Hinata being a great decoy. Because he finally got that clean kill, he's making Seijo think about that point even a couple points later, to now they're so focused on Hinata, so they put two blockers on him because they know if they don't, Hinata's going to get another fast kill. So Kageyama recognizes that the two blockers have left him, and he's left Tanaka one-on-one, which is usually going to be a much easier kill. That's my boy, Tanaka. Man, unlimited energy. Where's this guy going now? The older wise man speaks. He just has to turn it. Oh, good cover from Nishinoya. There we go with a change ball. I think they're recycling animations. I gotta check with the previous episode. If they do, that's cheating. That's true. Sometimes when you get set so many times, or especially as middles, we keep going hard. You gotta keep going. But just know that being tired, it should not be a reason to lose a game. That's something you can control with more training. So Hinata can outwork the other team. He bikes uphill every day. Double block here. Change direction. Come on, give Hinata a chance. Give him a chance to be better. Oh. Open the iron gates. That's right. Man, Hinata fully committed to that decoy. He even faked me out. And Kageyama saw that and set someone else. Good job, Hinata and Kageyama. That's great long-term planning. Now they have to move on and plan the next couple points. Look at those innocent cat eyes. We'll see who has the momentum during the last 10 points. I had to do the math there for a second. Maybe they'll finally put in a sub. They should put this guy into serve. That's a great way to give your players a moment of rest. Just put in someone who either can just put it in or put a tough serve. This guy, I hope he's ready. Ooh, now K-pop's thinking hard and sweating. The broad cross. I think he's saying, let's block more of the angle so Hinata can't rotate and hit sharp angle anymore. Force Hinata to do something different. That's okay. Even if Hinata does get a kill down the line, make them change. Make them adapt. Oh, I love the yelling from Tanaka. More scolding from Kageyama. That's right. They got to put in everything they got just to... This is our last set. Nishinoya with the perfect passing form. Here's a really simple tip for passing. Keep it simple. A lot of time people want to do these flashy moves, break their platform, twist it, do all these one-arm things. That should really only happen about 10-20% of the time, even at the higher level. If you look at someone like Eric Shoji, who is the USA national team libero, he makes passing look very boring because his moves are very simple. Get to the ball in as few steps as possible, form your platform behind the ball before it gets to you, and hold your platform for consistency and accuracy. So Nishinoya does a great job of making simple moves. Now, simple doesn't necessarily mean easy. That just means have the least amount of movement as possible, because the more you move as a passer, the more energy transfers into the ball and it just will bounce somewhere else. So make your passing moves as simple as possible. Ooh, he's got one elbow pad. I just noticed that. That's a badass. I'm not wearing two, I'm wearing one. He should have a scar there just to make it even more badass on his elbow. I think they're waiting, but they're going to block the cross angle. Open net. Oh, interesting. The coach meant don't block him and see where he hits. That was an interesting strategy. Come on, Nishinoya, dig it. Ah. A dump under pressure. That's ballsy. Yeah, don't force him to hit cross. If you just let him hit, he might hit straight ahead. So no blocker. That's a risky strategy, but it paid off. That's why in defense, if you just line it with where the hitter's facing, usually you're going to dig a lot of their hits. Oh, is it K-pop's turn? He always ends up serving in the most important moments. How lucky. Oh! That's a lucky play. And it happens. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than to be good. Good feedback from Coach Ukai. Just move on. You can't do anything about that. Another break. Another break of the platform from Nishinoya. Oh no, miscommunication. Oh, you can't give a free at all to Seijo. They're just going to set their hitter and crush it again. Oh, that libero's good. And he's got a shaved head. Is he going for a blocker? Oh, he is going for a block. Oh, I love it. Asahi is just a different person now. He's got to get up and be ready. Oh, set high middle. Just go for it. Who cares if you get blocked? Crush it. Oh, poor guy. I love it though. The fact that he went for it, that's so important. This is exactly how I feel when I know I'm going to get a high set against 3 blockers or against 2 blockers that know I'm going to get set. I charge up exactly like this and I just go for it. Now, I don't just swing blindly. I'm actually trying to aim for the hands or around the block, but in general, I'm just thinking I need to crush this ball and put the ball away, and if I get blocked, I get blocked. But the intent is so important. That goes all the way back to what Nishinoya said when he was disappointed in Asahi's play the last time they played against Datako, where he wasn't disappointed that Asahi was getting blocked. He got disappointed in Asahi because he gave up. He lost his intent and will to be aggressive and the will to win. And usually in these situations, when the set is that high, everyone knows it's going to you and you have your entire team telling you, go for it, kill it. This actually does happen in a real game, and it feels so good in the moment when you have your whole team charging you up. It's like that one scene I keep referring back to, Dragon Ball Z, where everyone's giving you energy and you just have to go for it. You cannot disappoint your team. But unfortunately, you do get blocked sometimes, especially in a predictable situation like this. But I wouldn't change the intent of Hinata. I would just change where he hits. So this is a great starting point. The best way to learn how to deal with a big triple block out of system is to keep swinging until you figure out how to deal with it. Lose a few points now so you can win more games later with that new knowledge. I wonder how Hinata's going to respond mentally to getting blocked like that in a critical situation, because the score is just getting more and more spread out. Maybe they're going to do a substitution. That's a great way to slow the game down too. Maybe put Suga in to uplift. Yeah, put the serving specialist in. Oh, we got lucky. Come on. It's time for the serving specialist. The guy from the market. Give Hinata a rest. I think that's why they keep highlighting the grocery store guy. Oh, shaking. It's got to be him. Yes. Oh man, I remember being this nervous. I remember being that nervous. Getting in to serve. I feel your pain, Mr. Shaky. Shaky Shimada. Hey, but this is his chance to shine. He's been talking the tough game, saying I want an opportunity, and now's your opportunity. Yeah, don't take anyone lightly. That's an interesting advice. Go and change the momentum. Coach should never say don't miss. That's the worst thing you can say to a player. Or make your serve. That's the worst thing you can say. Give him something to focus on. Yeah, that's the feeling of pressure and anxiety. The best way to deal with this is focus on a good breathing and serving routine. Uh-oh, Suki's gonna say something bad. Let's see who steps in and focuses him. Oh, of course Kageyama would think that. Oh, Suga comes to the rescue. Yeah, relax your team. That's great. Make him smile a little bit. Make him loosen up. That's the only way. That's his best chance of serving in. Come on, show him what you learned at the grocery store. Oh no! I think refs can call a replay on that, or you can call a retoss. Actually, no, only on a missed toss. I think the ref hasn't blown the whistle yet, so maybe that's why he can get back. That's why serving is one of the most high pressure skills. Too much time to think and everyone's looking at you. Jump float. That's a slow approach. Ooh. Okay, there you go. Wobbling. Oh no! Is it gonna spin? Ah, poor guy. That was a great attempt though. That was an aggressive one. Hopefully Coach Ukai gives him another chance. That was a great attempt. Yeah, that's a good teammate. Encourage him. It's alright. Move on. It's okay. Just aim a little higher. That's all you gotta do. Good coaching staff and good players. Good teammates. I wouldn't say that, but I think next time is becoming a theme. I should come up with a shirt with that says next time. The change of momentum. Maybe because he missed, or it's because there's a sub. That's a great change of momentum. Like a free timeout. It's like the wise men speaking on the side, trying to impress these young high school girls. I can't tell if he's frustrated or if he's cheering for his team right now. But Tanaka is just gonna bring it with his shaved head. It's just funny having the high school girls sitting next to those older guys. Kind of creepy. Oh! Excellent digging form. I'm glad we finally got to see someone else have a good defensive posture other than Nishinoya. So what's unique about this one compared to what Nishinoya was doing before is notice how far his knee is past his toes. A lot of defenders make the mistake of getting lower with their upper body when you have to get lower with your waist. When you get lower with your waist, the only way you can do that is by bending your knee forward. That's going to put a lot of pressure on your quadricep muscles in your knees, but that's a healthy type of pressure. If you just bend down with your torso, your hips end up raising, and you end up doing one of these moves where your hips shoot up and you just end up pointing down to the floor and you kind of fall back on your heels. So position your knee forward allows you to fall forward or to move forward, and here this is what allows him to get that ball lower to the floor. A great digging technique by Daichi, my man. Although I wouldn't recommend breaking your platform apart like that. Just keep it solid and together. Yeah, so close within the reach. Here we see the same technique where his knee is in front of his toes and it allows him to go forward and lower compared to having your hips too high, which brings your knee back. And you can just try it right now. see if you can move forward with your knee back and hips high versus hips low and knee forward. So another great digging technique by Oikawa here. Although I don't know why everyone keeps separating their platform. It looks cooler, but it's not as functional. So for those passers out there trying to learn how to dig and pass, try to keep your platform locked together and solid. Man, look at this diving. I love it. Love the effort on both teams. Oh, is that out? Oh, man. Yeah, the longer the rally goes, the more tired you get. So it's very, very common to overswing if you're not mindful of that fatigue. Yeah, get Tsuki in the game. Let the smart guy score some points without having to crush it all the time. Oh yeah. Only up by 2 points. Kageyama with a great dig. Ryu, such a cool name. Oh, but you know Nishinoya is going to be there to dig it, to cover him. Oh, he kick saved. That actually happens. Hinata face into the floor. Oh, that's a great hustle play. So after Tanaka hits and gets blocked, Tanaka is falling back and notices that he can't get low fast enough to pass it, so he just kicks it up. Even though that is rare, it actually does happen in volleyball games. And this is not something you should practice. This is just something you just have to be ready for. And if you make working really hard all the time a habit, your body will find ways to get the ball up. And here, he knew he just had to work hard and try to keep the ball in play, and his body found a way. And then we got the 110% man Hinata diving with a one-arm dig, and he's not trying to control it, he's just trying to keep the ball up, and see how he's using his offhand to cushion the dive. When you dive, ideally you want to cushion the floor like doing a reverse pull-up to help decelerate your body so you just don't slam to the floor. But when you're digging with one arm, you can use at least the other arm to brace some of the impact. But it looks like Hinata still ate some of the force on his face, which is very rare, by the way. I only know 3 people in my entire coaching career, 3 players that actually hit their head on the floor. That's over coaching 15 years and, I don't know, 50 teams. I've only seen that happen 3 times. There you go. Very normal, lucky plays from just simply working hard. Break! Oh, 1 point game. We got the best serve on the line. This is great. Come on, Kageyama, bring him back. Oh. Damn, got blown up. Ho ho ho. Some of you guys might be thinking he's like charging a reverse fireball and gonna shoot a Japanese character back at Seijo, but this is a real digging technique. You don't see it in indoor too much because honestly in indoor people usually are hitting so hard that usually they don't have time to put their hands up like this. They usually cup it like this. This is more of like a beach volleyball move where you clasp your thumbs together, form a triangle, and try to dig flat with your palms. This is a super old school technique. Back before you can actually dig with your hands, they would have to cross their hands like this. But Daichi is a very experienced defender, so that's why he's able to make this look pretty easy. That determination, I'm not going to lose, I love it. Oh, so close. Damn, another dig from Seijo, man. They just do not give up. Is that Iwazumi? Oh, man. That was a great analogy of like just outside of your reach. That's exactly how it feels. Exactly how it feels. I love the analogies here. Such good imagery in Haikyuu. And both teams are exhausted. I love it. I love it. Nishinoya is just that guy that's always gonna keep your team together with intensity. Oh, right over him. Asahi, Mr. Man Bun, bringing the heavy heat. Usually you can't think about missing. You just have to go for it. Then you can't serve at the libero. Oh. Hit right over Hinata. Oh, what's K-pop gonna do? Let's see if Nishinori can dig the overpass. Oh, he's gonna set somebody. He's gonna pretend to dump it. Oh, coming in like the rising thunder. Oh man, great save. Oh, he's gonna hit right over the top of Okawa. Woo, man, that was such a beautiful play. We gotta talk about that one before we see the reaction of the people in the anime. Here we have the reverse of what happened with K-pop earlier, where the ball was passed too tight and Okawa did a great job of just jumping straight up, straightening those elbows, getting as high as he can, and just setting with his fingertips and his wrist. Here we have Kageyama doing the same thing, but yet an even more athletic move because he's jumping off of one leg and super elongating, trying to get even higher to just save the ball. Now, I don't know if Kageyama intentionally tried to set Hinata or if he's just trying to save the ball. Either way, if you're aggressive and you work hard, good things generally tend to happen. Now, all the setters out there, when the pass is really tight and you can only touch it with one hand, the quick set is the easiest set to make because you don't have to push it far. You literally just have to tap it back at your hitter because you're already that high off the ground, so you're at the hitter's height now because you're both jumping. So middles, when the pass is tight, you should get excited because you're usually going to be the main option on those tight passes because it's going to be hard for the setter to actually push it out with one hand. So they're usually going to tap it back at you. And more often than not, the opposing blocker is going to jump with their setter, which is going to leave you with no net. So middles have to be ready all the time, whether or not they think they're going to get set, especially in this situation with the tight pass. Now let's relive that glorious moment. Slow motion. Extended hand. Both people trying to get it. Tapping it back at Hinata, and Hinata's already committed before he knew he was going to get set. Beautiful. He's going to hit right over Mr. K-pop, slap him in the back of the jersey. Yes. That was a beautiful play. I love it. The beauty of working hard. Here are my immediate thoughts to episode 23. Another action-packed and emotionally intense episode. This wasn't even an entire set. I think it was just the second half of a set, and it took the entire episode because every moment was so well animated. You got a chance to get multiple people's perspectives. You got a chance to listen to the inner dialogue of these athletes. So many great things happened, and it was exciting to give all this analysis from digging, one-hand setting, how to serve under pressure, and game strategy. First, we got to talk about the ongoing battle between Oikawa and Kageyama. Oikawa is definitely a very skilled setter, not just in his decision making, but also his technique. What I like even more is that Kageyama finds a way to one-up him, not because he's trying to necessarily one-up him, but because Kageyama is just trying to be the best player he can be. Many of you talked about how Oikawa was envious of Kageyama because Oikawa worked so hard just to be this good, and Kageyama was already close to being that good, being young and talented. It's a cool parallel to see how Oikawa will do one move, and then a couple plays later, Kageyama will do that move even better. Another great thing I loved about this episode was how much team encouragement and team dynamic was happening. As soon as Shimada missed a serve, everyone on the team said, "Hey, shake it off, next point." Even the coach said, "Hey, that's alright, move on, we're going to need you again." And the captain steps in and says, "Next time," which is code word in Haikyuu for keep your head up. This episode also talked a lot about the change of momentum. Every sport's going to have momentum changes, but I feel like volleyball definitely is dependent on momentum. Even though there are long pauses in between each point, when you're on a roll, you're just on a roll. And sometimes it seems like no matter what you do, the other team just will dig you and just fire it right back. It was cool to see the coach try to change the momentum because Karasuno was working very hard, but Seijo was just working hard and being better at that moment. So he called some key timeouts and he made a key substitution just to change the momentum. Now, change of momentum can happen in a couple ways. You can just have a longer pause and more time to recover and reflect and to think just by having a substitution, right? That takes time to happen. Bringing someone in to just add new energy, just like Suga did, or by making your opponent think a little longer by having a substitution. So it definitely worked, and it gave Karasuno that extra boost to make it all the way to 24-24. I can't wait to see who wins this set, because it's very obvious that Seijo and Karasuno are both working their butts off and are both strategizing back and forth. So in all honesty, both teams deserve to win. But one of the hardest lessons to learn in sports is that only one team can win. Sounds so simple, but I feel like we forget that sometimes, because just because we work hard, we feel like we deserve to win. And I'm going to leave you with this quote from the great coach Doug Beal, who helped coach the USA men's national team to a gold medal in 1984 Olympics. He once said, "You don't just get to win." Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction video, and we'll see you guys in the next one.